you. What else we ain't got here? There's a new guy here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I got it.
You didn't get that?
Thank you all very much. First on the agenda this morning for industrial development, Carol Halibert. Industrial development. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Carol.
We submitted a monthly report. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, comments?
Any questions for Carol? Comments? Yes, Mr. Miga.
Is the information going out on the microenterprise?
The press release is going to be leaving my desk today.
Okay.
It is being sent to 5 newspapers. Those newspapers have been provided to me from the supervisors. I can't tell you when it exactly will come out. Every newspaper has its own schedule. But it'll have the public meeting that we're having on the 19th at the Town Hall in Long Lake. Then the microenterprise class itself will be on January 26th from 8:30 to 4 at the Town Hall in North Hudson. And I've been fielding calls already on it from supervisors, I think, who have been providing information on it. So I'm just waiting for the final, I sent all the final documents down to DEC this morning, and I'm just waiting for their approval so that I can send the press release out.
Okay. I like the brochures. Do you have, a follow-up question?
Sure.
The, fold-out brochure?
That was sent down as part of the final documents to DEC this morning. I sent down 4 items for their final review, and once I have the okay back, I will email all of the supervisors in the 5 towns and other entities that have requested them the brochure as well.
Thank you, Carol.
You're welcome.
So the informational meeting is in Long Lake, you said, at 7?
At 7 o'clock, that's correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For the question, Mr.
Carol, when are the brochures going to be actually out?
Today, if I can get the approval from DEC.
Okay.
We'll be posting them on our website. I'll send them to all 5 supervisors along with other entities I've requested, including SBDC. I just want to get their final approval on all the changes that we've made.
I'm getting bombarded with people looking for them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hopefully today.
Because, 19th is not that far away.
No, it's not. Well, we hesitated how far we wanted to send the press release out because it's after the holidays and the first of the year, and people get regrouped, reorganized, so we didn't want to send the information out too quick and have it be lost with everything after the holidays. So as soon as I get their permission, I'm hoping today, and Dylan's been great about responding to me, I should be able to get it in your hands.
The farther we go into this project, with the amount of money, it's a very tight window we have to perform to get all this done.
And it's following the same schedule as we did 2 years ago.
It's 5 times as much money or more.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Further questions, comments for Carol? Being none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next we have Mr. Michael Mascarinas, Resources. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. We do have a referral this morning requesting an area variance at the property of 10 Orchard Street in the town of Essex. This request does not have an adverse impact on county property, and a letter of no comment is recommended.
Someone care to move? Mr. Tyler, second by Mr. Depot. Questions or comments? Being none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Yeah, just to explain a little bit for the new supervisor, in particular Keene, and I think some of the folks in your communities are confused about our role in the referral process. I've gotten several emails on this one in particular this morning, and I think a lot of communities are confused and think that we're an enforcement agency over town zoning and ordinances and those types of things, which we absolutely are not. When I look at these referrals, I look at them for impact to county property and impact to county property only. So that's where my opinion's always based. Does this have an impact on our roads? Is there going to be, is the weight limit of the road going to be a problem now with new zoning requirements or those types of things? I don't really look at what your local zoning and ordinances are. So I know that confusion's hard to get rid of in some ways, but yeah, there's certainly some confusion, and maybe I need to do a better job at explaining to your local planning boards and code officers on what our role is in that.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. Just to give you a brief overview of the report, the municipal e-waste assistance, the DEC has added a second round to that. I've heard from 4 or 5 of you in round 1, and we did submit for claims if you have e-waste expenses in your communities. They're allowing until, I think, the end of this month to submit your bills in round 2, and we can get reimbursement at 50% for any e-waste expense that you have. So if you haven't already done so, all I really need is your bills, and I can do the application with that little bit of information and get that out to DEC, so it gets you in the pipeline. It's a first-come, first-served basis, so once the funds are exhausted, there'll be no other opportunities, but right now they have about $1.8 million left to assist communities with e-waste. Any questions?
Questions? Comments? Thank you, Mike.
Just want to give a quick nutrition building update. I want to thank the board for approving the most recent schematic design. It's imperative that we keep moving forward with that project, simply because our grant will expire in December of next year. We're currently developing an RFP. Jim Dugan and I kind of finalized that this morning, get it over to Dan's office and try to get that out for architectural services so we can do final design on that project. So we are moving forward. I just want the board to understand how it's going to roll out pretty quickly from here forward, being that we're under some funding restriction that we have to have that building built by December of next year.
18 or 17?
17. This year. Yes, I'm sorry. December of this year. Yes. December of 17. Yes. I apologize. A lot of you that receive CFA awards should be getting contract documents if you need assistance in getting those prepared. Some of you have sent them to me. I'm more than happy to help you and get those things taken care of. This month I supplied a list of our projects that have funding attached to them right now, and the reason why I did that is because we will have many projects going out to bid here very shortly, especially with the water and sewer infrastructure projects throughout the county. I also made a code of our acronyms prior at the beginning of it, because I sometimes talk gibberish to everybody that doesn't understand my language, but basically they're spelled out pretty clearly there. I'm not going to go through them individually, but what I will say is you can see underwater, stormwater projects in particular, many times you will see 3 or 4 different funding streams that are attached to those things. And for us and our office staff, it gets very complicated managing several different funding streams within one project. For us, it's almost individualized. So what might be a water project to a community, for us is 3 water projects, because you have to triplicate the reporting, the claiming. You'd be able to keep all that straight without utilizing the funds on more than one occasion. So I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what the funding is available out there, what we currently have on our plate, and if you should have any ideas, you can see those funding streams that are out there and available for you. That's all I got.
Thank you, Michael. And just a list from your breakdown, I think it's a testimony of how busy your office and yourself has been.
Thank you.
It's been a great asset so far that you give to the municipalities. Mr. Marnell.
I saw the sketch of the building, the nutrition building. Does that have a full basement under it, or is that outside?
I think, Dan, I don't think it does. I think we're going with frost walls.
Frost walls and slab.
And slab, yeah.
Save money, or?
Well, now it's safe
mind, but I think it also, in terms of the Department of Health, they want a surface, concrete floor, something that's easy to clean and floor drains in it and those kinds of things. And it just lends itself better to a slab on grade than it does a foundation. Because essentially you have to go in there and power wash to clean stuff out, and if you have floor drains in the concrete, then you can get that done without, being an issue with the basement.
Other questions, comments for Michael?
No, with the e-waste, I called Lynn to your office. We've been charging people
Yes.
when they bring it in, so we're not eligible.
That's a good point. If you are charging people to bring it in, then obviously you've already got your money back. A lot of communities do not charge to accept e-waste, or what they're charging doesn't cover what they're paying. So if you are charging, Mr. Marnell, and the cost is above and beyond what you're charging, then you are eligible to get those dollars back at a 50% reimbursement. But if you're breaking even with what you're charging now, then yes, that's correct, you would be ineligible.
With a building that you have to construct to house the e-waste in, you can't leave it out underground, so you either got to buy a storage building or build one. Would that,
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that, but I can absolutely find out.
You do have to have it undercover with the one group we use.
Yeah.
The e-waste
Yeah,
gathering spot, there has to be
yeah, with the group we use. CCR and R, we have.
Anything further from Michael? Mr. Monti?
One thing on the e-waste, Mike, can we put in salary for the operator into that grant? Can that be included?
We'll see. We'll submit whatever we got, and quite frankly, if we get reimbursed, yeah, I'll make them tell me no, absolutely.
Okay, and the other thing I want to say is, I do want to again thank Mike and Jim for the work on the nutrition building. Where we've come in this past year has been absolutely phenomenal, and it's due to Mike and Jim and pushing it forward and keeping us on task and keeping it at an expense that's affordable to the county. And kudos to you guys, Mike.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it.
Anything further?
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Back to work.
All right.
Next one is for the historian. I do not believe Aurora is here this morning. So Rick would be next for the cooperative extension. Good morning.
Good morning, all. This crisp morning. My report will be rather short. I started officially, I guess it was the 1st of January. The biggest thing that I can say is the position description for the new ag educator that we're in the process of going after is 99% done. It's in the hands of our board president, Jay White. Will go off to our human resources down to Cornell. Within a week, it should be posted, and we can advertise. As I said to you earlier this fall, that was one of my priorities in getting that started, and I think we're in the right area. We've got a great location to sell. It's, Champlain Valley, Adirondacks, and a lot of young farmers, a lot of excited people in the agricultural industry, a lot of market possibilities. So I think we'll do well. We do have a list already of people locally that want to apply. So that's the number one thing that we'll be working on. The other area is just getting established in the county. Many of you, I will be touching, all of you, I will be talking to and trying to set up a time to meet just to tell you about extension, our thoughts for the present and to the future, which is the most important. Where are we going and what do we do today, and how extension is different than it was 20 years ago to 100 years ago, etc. The building, That always comes up. I think the last time I was here, it came up too. Old building, architectural building, important building, a disturbed building, and we'll need to have some discussions on that. The one thing that's happening is cleaning it up, cleaning files. There's a lot of stuff there, and I did see a gleam in the staff's eyes when I talked about moving things, if you will, out. So we're looking through things. Anything of historical nature will be saved, obviously. Anything that, as far as records that we need to keep for so many years, will be properly cared for. Things that are duplicate, things that are out of date, things that just are broken will be purged. So those are a couple of things going on right now. We have a staff meeting going on today to figure out. One of the things that I work with very closely is figuring out, get the right people on the bus, and then get the right people in the right seats on the bus. And that goes along also with offices and the space that we have. Are we using it the most effectively that we could? And, the staff will have input on that because they live in that office building. I'm a part-time person, if you will, but it's most important for them to be comfortable, safe, and feel good about where they are and what they do, and if they do, the work they do will be that much better. Those are the quick things that I have. The report that you have before you, I followed the format that was there. I will be changing that somewhat to still stay within the needs of your needs, but I will look towards not so much on the numbers, although those are important, knowing how many programs we have in what towns and how many people attended, but more importantly, what we do, what our objectives are, and what the impact of those programs are, because I think that's much more important for your input on and reading of that. So that's what I have today. Very short, very sweet. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Rick. Yes, to start, Mr. Meeks.
Rick, 9 days into it, sounds pretty good.
Thank you.
A fresh outlook, inspirational notes for the staff, underscoring the building, which Mike had mentioned a couple meetings ago, which I think we all buy into, and I think that's an area that needs attention. We just got to figure out how, that's all.
Small.
So, nice start.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other further questions or comments? Seeing none, thank you very much. We look forward to working with you throughout the year. Thank you. Lastly, Mr. McKenna.
Some other man. Good morning. Happy New Year. I don't have much this morning either, other than we have not received from all the towns the form that was sent out for the Tourism Enhancement Fund. If you haven't, I have copies here today. I know we did not receive one from Mariah, Tom, but you want that money to go to Wilmington?
That's what I heard. Are you sure you sent these out? Because I don't ever recall seeing them.
But if any of your towns have not received those, I have copies of them here with me today.
I got one now.
Those would be able to be applied for 16.
Yes, it still has 16 in it. We're holding the monies for that for 16.
Is it?
Mr. Tom, yes, go ahead.
Is that eligible for any tourism-related, like?
Well, we basically, some of the criteria that's in the law is basically it's for tourism growth in Essex County, gearing in on overnight visitors as much as possible.
So, okay.
Mr. Scuzza.
Now, these will be, because obviously it's a contract, so I got to bring it in front of my board. These are going to be contractual agreements with each town.
That's correct.
You're not doing it with the chambers.
That's correct.
Okay. And then it's up to the towns if they want to disperse it back to their chamber.
That's correct.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Questions, comments?
No, that's pretty much all I have today, other than I've met with a supervisor from Minerva, and we're going to get the 5 towns together to start talking that marketing effort for the Upper Hudson Rec Hub, February 15th, correct? Is that, yes, in Minerva. So, that's pretty much.
Lunch will be served, Ron. Thank you. How'd you know I was going to ask that? Stale donut like we get in North Hudson.
Any further questions, comments?
Can you give us an update on your looking to acquire the FISU games, and is there any chance that when you go to Kazakhstan that you're going to defect?
No, but we have, as I mentioned last month, we are sending a delegation. We did want Randy to go, and we even asked Tom, but the way the schedule is, that didn't even... We actually did. We really did ask Tom. We did.
It certainly makes me feel...
But, we are sending a delegation of 11 people will be going over. We're leaving January 30th, and we get in Kazakhstan on the 1st. That's how long the travel is there. Then there's 3 full days of meetings set up with the FISU folks to run us through everything. It's an observer program. And then we rebound on the 5th. So we get over there on the 1st. Meetings are 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And then we fly back at 4 a.m. on the 5th. So it's quite the trip. But the bottom line is, it's other than the Olympic Games, it's really the second in stature for multi-sport winter events. And it's got that kind of, it's an international event, 60 countries, 3,000 athletes, 12 days of competitions, and I think it sort of reestablishes our county as a winter competitive site. I mean, looking through we haven't been successful in doing World Cup championships and World Cup events other than the sliding sports in about 20 years. This will allow those venues to get back up to snuff is our intent. And I think it's got long-term potential private sector growth throughout the county with it.
That's exciting.
Yep.
It does. Good luck with that. Questions, comments? Anything further? Yes, Mr. Moore.
What was the date for that 5 towns meeting in February?
February 15th. We will be sending a notice out as long as we're good on that date.
And lunch is being served by Mr. McNally. I believe that's what he said. Any further questions, comments for Mr. McKenna? Anything further to come before the committee? Being none, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much.